Last year, I did a tier list video with 20 or so of the most popular languages. Since then, quite a few things have changed, particularly with AI code assistance. Now, AI is changing the way we write code, but it still hasn't changed what matters when learning. So today I'm going to focus in on the top languages that I recommended in years past, and I'm going to highlight a few changes due to the impact of AI. And to be clear, vibe coding is still bull. Understanding what you're building and why is not optional. Now, starting with the S tier, we have Java, C#, and SQL. Now, these aren't really changing. Enterprise isn't going anywhere. The sheer mass of existing Java and C# code bases in banking and healthcare, government, and basically the whole Fortune 500 means that they aren't going away. And if it ain't broke, you don't fix it. That's why COBOL still exists today. And many of these companies prefer to hire IT professionals with experience in their domain. So, if you get a job in banking, it's going to make you a much more attractive hire to banks. And it's really difficult to use AI tools effectively if you don't understand the domain. So I expect that industry specialization is going to be a major advantage in job searches going forward. And as for SQL, relational databases remain the most common type of data storage in the enterprise. You should not only be fluent in SQL, but you should also get really good at relational design. I believe that developers will be responsible for more parts of the stack. So being full stack will be a huge advantage, more important than ever. Next, let's talk about some languages that are trending upwards: C, C++, and Rust. Now, this is kind of counterintuitive to somebody who's a beginner, but as AI handles more of the easy code, the premium is going to shift towards work that's hard. Systems programming, performance critical applications, embedded systems, infrastructure. These are domains where you can't afford sloppy output and where understanding memory, concurrency, and hardware really matters. Now, Rust in particular is carving out some serious territory, and if you want to be the person that AI can't replace, then learn to work closer to the metal. Now, I still don't recommend starting with one of these languages for two reasons. First, they're much harder to get started with versus starting with a language like C# or Java. So tackling them after you learn some basic coding fundamentals is much easier. Second, while the jobs are good, there just aren't as many of them as there are for Java and C# in the enterprise. And now let's talk about JavaScript and Frontend, because I think these are trending down, but they're not dead. The issue with JavaScript and Frontend isn't so much that AI tools do it fantastically well. It's that many businesses just want cookie cutter sites that look mostly like everyone else's. And if you're shooting for average and predictable, well, LLMs are often good enough for some of those use cases. This is why WordPress and CSS templates are used so much. Now, I do believe that there is plenty of room for expert level UI UX work, but the entry and mid-tier work is being commoditized. And this really isn't anything new. I mean, I used to get paid solid United States wages for basic static websites. And no one is paying my rates to do that work today. It's all with the agencies, and many of those agencies staff those projects with cheaper, globally sourced labor. Now, you do still need to know JavaScript if you work in web development. But I think we're approaching a situation where it's better to have a different primary language like C#, Java, or C++, and also be decent at JavaScript. And now we need to talk about Python, because Python is hard to rank. Like JavaScript, there's a massive amount of training data, and AI tools are pretty effective at writing it, which you would think would push it down the list. But Python is unique because of its popularity as the glue that connects data services and systems. This makes it really valuable as a tool for quickly spinning up small utilities, automation scripts, data pipelines, and one-off tools. Now, the catch here is that the things that make Python valuable also tend to require a lot more domain knowledge of systems, security, data, networking, statistics, and other topics. So even though AI can make Python code easier to write, the required domain knowledge about the systems that you're touching and how they work is quite high. And that's a meaningfully different skill set than, say, a front-end React developer who can lean more heavily on AI to produce a working component, and they don't have to understand what's actually happening 3 layers down. So in my rankings, I would put Python now above JavaScript with the caveat that it's not as simple as people think. Learning Python syntax alone is not enough. So that's how I'm adjusting my recommendations going forward. It's an interesting time because AI makes it easier to be superficially productive in just about every language, but studies are popping up that are showing that senior developers benefit far more from these tools than juniors do. And that's because of experience and strong foundations. And this is not surprising at all. Because when you've taken the time to build a strong foundation, that means that you've built the mental models that are transferable. Because data structures, control flow, debugging, and those types of skills, those are useful across all languages. You also end up with the ability to evaluate and fix the AI output, because it's just not possible to judge whether the generated code is good if you don't actually understand the fundamentals. And then they also can pick up things faster, because if you go deep in one language, picking up a second or third becomes much faster. That was always true. But with AI assistance, it's even better. Now, here's the trap for the beginners. Thinking that just because AI can do your homework for you, you don't really have to learn anything. That's how you end up unable to debug, unable to architect, and unable to find a job. Because trust me, no one is paying 6-figure salaries for someone who types prompts into AI and provides no other value. So in 2026 and going forward, my recommendation is still to learn one language deeply. Once you understand what's happening under the hood and you can build a full stack application without AI, then you can start using it as a force multiplier. Just be patient, embrace the pain, the temporary discomfort, and you'll end up being great. Happy coding.